in red color? I given for container. Then why heading is in red color? Because you will say that it is inside, then it inherited the color. Container color it inherited. If it inherited, why it is not inheriting border? Why it is inheriting only color? I hope you understood the point. So inheritance is nothing but the parent features are given to child. But child will not get all parent features. Only some parent features it will come. Now, can we control which feature child should use, which feature child should not use? Can we control? Yes, we can. That is what inheritance in CSS. So inheritance is nothing but the parent features are automatically implemented to child. The parent features are implemented to child. So we can control that. How do we control is actually inheritance is a mechanism where the parent features are implemented by child elements. So where the parent features are implemented by child elements. You can control inheritance by using CSS values. We have inherit, initial, and unset. We have the values inherit, initial, and unset. We can use these values. So one concept already we learned in this earlier. If you remembered while working with headings and all, I told you unset, right? We learned about unset, and working with unset we discussed about that. Right. Now, what is inherit, initial, unset like concept here is, what is the point is, see, this child heading is inheriting color but not inheriting border. Then what you can do, heading to border it can inherit. What to inherit, what not to inherit, we can control. That means I said border inherit. So what will happen? It will inherit the border. Without asking what to inherit, automatically what it is inheriting? Color. Now you see border it inherits. Parent border it comes to child. What is advantage of this is when you change parent, automatically child border also changes. Right? If you change the border style, size, color of parent, automatically it affects the child. Because child is not having any individual color and values, it is adapting from the parent, right? So here what we do initially, border is inherit. After that, padding is not inherited. You see, padding is not inherited, only border is inherited. Padding also what inherit? It will inherit the padding also. Color, it is not inherit. It is, I'm not giving any inherit. It is automatically inheriting. So Color, what I will do is, color I will say initial. Initial means what? Before you inherit what you are. That means before inheritance, what was the color? Black. That means it will use that initial color for that particular heading. So we can control what to inherit and what not to inherit. Here, one more point is that observe carefully here. You can implement simply all. Suppose I want it to inherit all. So then what we do? All inherit. That means it will inherit all of the features, including font size also. Because container font size, what is there? It will use the same font size. So heading will lose its font size because you are saying that inherit all, right? You can choose any specific. You can choose any specific. Instead of all, you can select any specific. Now, this is okay. This is okay. Now, what about example I will give here? Example. Now, what about unset? Because it is having bold. I want to remove bold. If I say font weight bold, font weight as initial, it is not inheriting any bold from parent. It is a default. Na? If you want to remove any default, then what to do? That means some effects are not inherited. Some are default. Then what you have to do? You say better as what? Font weight as what? Unset. Unset means it will remove that bold. Right? So if the styles doesn't belong to parent, they are default styles. Then you can use what? Unset. Unset. So what is inherit? So it inherits the parent styles. It sets the default style. Unset, it removes the default style. It removes the default style. So this is CSS related inheritance, inheritance related. Next, after understanding inheritance attributes, values what you have. Now we have CSS units. We have CSS units. CSS units. Units are nothing but the measurement units. You have used pixels and all. Finally, on the screen, the measurement understood by browser is pixel only. But we use different units for different purpose. For example, it's a simple general concept. Suppose you have a scale. One side of scale contains inch. Another side of scale contains centimeter. Why? One is enough na. Scale length is same. Why you have two units? If you know the reason, then you will not have a question in CSS. Right? So why you have two units, inches, centimeters, length is same na? What do you say? What is difference? Difference is nothing but if I have to measure lengthy, long, then I will use inch because centimeters becomes too many. If I have to measure short, then dividing an inch is difficult. Then better use an smaller unit. What is that? Centimeter. Suppose you have 1 kilometer to walk. You already walked half kilometer. What it says? It will not say that half kilometer left. It will say that 500 meters left. Right? That means it will say 500 meters left because a smaller unit is used to measure smaller value and larger unit is used to measure larger. That's completely depending on requirement. Suppose I want to increase width more, then I will better use inch. So very less than centimeter, less than centimeter. Then I will use millimeter, less than millimeter. Then you have quarter meters, less than that. Then pixel. Pixel is a dot. That means only one fraction, just one dot adjustment I need. Then I cannot use inch or centimeter. I cannot calculate like 1.5 of inch. Then you have to use a smaller unit. So why many units are given to a developer? Because he will choose larger units for larger values and smaller units for smaller values. That means minor changes, a smaller unit he will use. Major changes, a larger unit he will use. That you can control by using that. So that is the reason CSS have a lot of units. CSS have a lot of units. Actually, units are used for measurement. Units are used for measurement. CSS units are classified into two types. Absolute units, relative units. They are classified into two types, absolute units and relative units. Absolute units means they are independent. Absolute units are independent. They are not affected by any another. Relative units are not independent. They are affected by others. For example, this is parent. The parent width is 300 pixel. This is child. The child, I want half of the parent. Then I given child width as 150 pixel. This 150 pixel is an absolute unit. Absolute unit means it is not relative to parent. Then later if I change to 400, will it change to 200? No, it will be 150 only. Understood? That means this pixel is an absolute unit. That means is it linked to parent? It's not linked to parent. If I later increase or decrease the parent size, will it affect the here? It will not affect here. That means absolute units are fixed units. They are not affected by others. They are not affected by others. But we have relative units. Relative units, you used already some of them. What is relative unit? Relative unit is, suppose I say 50%. then what? It will be 50% of this. 50% of this means obviously it will be how much? 150. Later it will adjust to 200, then it 400, it becomes to 200. So this is an relative unit. Relative unit, it will be not fixed. It will adjust itself and it will change according to the parent. So that is what relative units are. So what are absolute units available? Actually, so many are there. All are finally, browser understands only pixel. Pixel means what? For example, yeah. For example, I am drawing a line. For example, I am drawing a line. Now, when I am drawing the line, suppose say it is very thin line, a thin line. Actually, this line, I will zoom. You see, this is the line. It is made up of tiny dots. That line is made up of tiny dots. That means it is actually made up of tiny dots. Every dot is considered as pixel. That means on the screen, everything is displayed in the form of tiny dots. Those tiny dots are called pixels. That means how many pixels depth it is present. That is pixels, right? So these are pixels. Any measurement finally comes into what? Any measurement finally comes into pixels. It will come into the concept of pixels. Even you use centimeters, millimeters, quarter meters like that. Generally, browser converts everything into pixel. That means then when we use inches, centimeters is nothing but, suppose you design some ticket. That ticket they have to print on a paper. Then what we can do? For paper, the best measurement is inches. A4 size, A5 size, different paper size inch. That means we mention that height will be these many inches, width will be these many inches. Because when I printing on paper, if I give in pixel, it's difficult to understand. It will work. It is difficult to understand. If I say 8 inch, 7 inch, 6 inch, so 14 inch, then they can easily understand. So that depends on your uses, where you are implementing them, right? Actually, these are all the absolute units available. So absolute units are individual and not affected by other elements in page and not affected by other elements in page. So all CSS absolute units are converted into pixels. They are converted into pixels. You can see these are the absolute units. You can make a note of this diagram. This tabular form you can write. This is units. You can write this tabular format. This is the tabular format. These units you make a note. These are all finally converted to pixels. You see, centimeter means how many pixels? approximately 34, 32 pixels because 96 by 2 na, right? So 2.54. That means it will be approximately 32, 34 like pixels. Centimeters, millimeters, all are finally converted into pixels only, right? 1 inch means how many pixels? 1 by 96 of an inch. That means 96 pixels. 1 inch means 96 pixels. So you can use any of these units depending on how the current measurement is. You want to control the size with larger differences, then use a bigger unit. Very small adjustments, then use a smaller unit. These are different units we have. So these are the values we have. Now, relative units, what we are having. That means what are the relative units? Relative units will adjust so relative units will adjust. So we have relative units. These absolute units just already given that, right? Now, absolute units like inch, centimeter, millimeter, so quarter meter, points, picas, all these comes under that. So relative units change according to the parent. So relative units change according to the parent elements. So what are the relative units is we have EM. So this is element parent element size. REM, root element size. So we have a percent. This is fraction of parent. So this is VW. So this is viewport width, device base, viewport height. This is also device based. So these are relative units. We already used some of them. Huh? We already used some of these, right? Viewport means what? Viewport means it will adjust according to the screen. You change the orientation of the screen, it will automatically change. We will see media queries, there we will use viewports. So EM REM is nothing but, for example, you see same here. So we have container text. So we have a paragraph. Paragraph is there. Actually for container, what we are doing, for container font size, I am giving 30 pixel. It will be like this. Then paragraph also 30 pixel. I want paragraph half of container size. Half. And whenever I increase the size of container, it should automatically be half of that. Then generally for paragraph, how to make it half of container size? Suppose if I given font size 15 pixel, it will be half. But when I increase this to 60, then it is still 15 only. But it should adjust. Then what we do is here, this is 30. So what we do here, instead of this, we will use 0.5 EM. 0.5 EM. Actually 1 EM means equal to 100% of parent element. 100% of parent element. 100% of parent element means how much parent? This also same. I want 1.5 EM. That means larger than parent, right? It is larger than parent. I will give 0.5 of parent. That means it is half of the parent. What is advantage now? If I change this to 60, automatically it will updates to 6 changes. That means the child will change according to the parent. Outside this container, here, this is here we are having base content. That is base content. I want paragraph not to its parent. I want it to its root. Root means the root of all. Root of all means body. Then what we will do is, that means paragraph should be equal to root element size. Then what we will do is not EM, we will use REM, root element size. Root element size means equal to this. EM means to the parent. Root element means to the parent's root, not parent. It is the parent root, right? 1 REM. So it is equal to that. Little larger, 1.5 REM. That means here I am writing 1.5 REM. Then it is little large. You can adjust according to the parent, or you can adjust according to the root. The root and parent you can adjust. That will make it better. For font size, don't give percent. That means what is percent is good. But problem with percent is a compressing unit. It will compress the characters, compress the elements. And that is what we call optimizing the elements. When it is compressing, then quality will be lost. Without compressing, better adjust the units. That means you use EM, REM and all. That means in interviews also they ask, Actually, percent is there. Why you use EM? So in some interviews they ask like how to give font size. You will say that how to give means I will give pixels. He will say no, we don't use pixels. Then why you don't use pixels? Because we use EM, REM, because they will not allow to lose the quality of the text, right? Percentage is good for other type of contents, but for text like content, then instead of using percentage, better you use what? EM and REM. EM and REM, the element size and the root element size. Root element size. So you can define by using this technique. This is EM and REM and all. So no need to give any example because all these days we are doing that. Percent and all we are using. Width, height, everywhere we are using. Always prefer using pixels, right? Later, when you learn media query, you have another option also. Min width, max width, those we will learn. Currently, these are width, height, placements, dimensions you want to change. You can control by using this mechanism, right? So this is the concept of units, relative units, absolute units, how to control them. So we learned units and we learned about rules also. Na? CSS rules I told you. CSS colors also I told you. CSS colors and rules already we discussed earlier. Rules means I told you na yesterday. What are the rules means? If I write inline, embedded, external, which one have priority? Right? If I write ID, class, type, which one have priority? All these comes under as what? Rules. They all comes under rules. Okay. Next, after understanding this in CSS, we need another concept. This is CSS box model. CSS box. Already we know everything in box model. Only the point is you should know now technical names for them. And you should know what is new and different here, right? Box model already we know. What is box model means? Generally, in box model, what comes in box model is margin, padding. So border, we'll have an border radius. Radius, we have like border image, we have width, and we have height. These comes under box model. So box model means how you put a content and content around the content, some other contents, how you keep them. That's all comes under box model. And we already know them. What is margin? The distance between the border and page. What is padding? Distance between the border and content inside border, right? Content inside. Radius means curved. Border picture, you'll see here. You can put a image as border. Width, height already we know. Width and height we already know. But what new you should know here is actually what new you have to know is in a margin, actually margins, we have margin. This is shorthand for all directions. Shorthand for all directions. Actually, the direction orientation is top, right, bottom, and left. That is the orientation of margin. Orientation of margin. That means, suppose syntactically, we have like margin 10. If I write like this, what will happen? all directions will be 10 pixel. Not like that. You have another syntax. We can keep margin here 0 pixel, 0 pixel, 0 pixel, and 0 pixel. Like this you can give. And actually, what is that order? First one is top, second one is right, third one is bottom, and fourth one is left. That's how we can define. That is how we can configure. That means at a time you can apply. Actually, earlier, if I want to put left right border, we are writing 2 times. Margin left, margin right. Not required. How you can write? So example, so you want to set left and right margin. How to set? Tell me. 0 pixel. So 10 pixel, 0 pixel, 10 pixel. That's how we do. That means what margins are set? First one is top, second one is right, third one is bottom, fourth one is left. Clockwise. It will put in that direction. So that means you see now, if I write here, container is there, right? For container, I am giving a border also. This sizes and all I will keep normal. So for container, I am giving border as 3 pixel solid red color, something like this we are giving. This is the border. Base content remove. Now what I want is, I want margin left and right. Then we can give margin 0 pixel. So be 0 pixel. So 30 pixel or 50 pixel, 50 pixel, 0 pixel, and 50 pixel. That means it is going to set left and right margins. Left and right margins. At a time you can apply. Actually, earlier we were individually writing them. Margin left one, margin right. You can in one shorthand way we can write. So here you are having the margin, and one more option is there. So individually also you can give. This is shorthand. What are individual? Margin left. What is it? Margin right, margin top, and margin bottom. Bottom. Individually you can write the margins in this way. That is, what is new is shorthand. Others we already know that, right? We have another one. What is it? Padding. We have another one, padding. Padding also same. Padding is shorthand for all directions. All directions. And the order is same. Top, right, bottom, and what? Left. Padding. And how you define the padding? So here we need to use same. What is it? Padding left, padding left, padding right, padding top, padding top, padding bottom. All these are present. All these are present. So these are padding. Now you want to set the padding inside. I want left top padding. That means what we will do, left and top padding means padding 30 pixel is top, right is 0. So right is 0 pixel, bottom also 0 pixel, left is 30 pixel. Top and left are having padding. And it is going to display the padding like this. So left padding I defined as 100 pixels or something. Then it will be left padding will be 100. pixels, right? These are the padding related options, how we can set the padding, right? So that is the padding here. So padding margin and padding are same. Only one new concept is this. Let me give example. I will copy. Okay, what about border? Border. Border also, so many directions are there. Actually, we are writing border, but border has so many. One is border is having style. Border is having a style, right? Actually, we are writing shorthand, na? But actually in these three options are there. This is style, this is size, and this is color. So actually we have like this. What is it? Border width is present, width is size. Suppose 5 pixel. Border style is present, double dotted. Border color is present. So then it will apply them and display them. That means border related style is there, border size is there, and border color is present. Three options will be there. So style means what? We have solid, double, dotted, dashed, groove, all this. Size means width, color is color. Not only that, we have border left style. So we have border left size, we have border left color. That means only one side also we can give. And not only that, border left is there. Border left. What is this border left? It is left shorthand. It is left shorthand. Left shorthand means left style, left width, left size. All three you can apply just by using border left. Or if you want, you can individually write also. Individually, how you write? Border size, border color, border left size, border left style, border left color, like that you can use. Now similar all directions. So same for all directions. It is same for all directions. That means left border, right border, top border, bottom border. All the directions. So we can use in a shorthand way and we can define in this, right? So what is the concept here? You see, for a border, if I want to keep the border, we say border left. It is left shorthand. Left, I want 10 pixel, double border, red color. And border top, so 10 pixel, solid, red color. So border right as suppose 5 pixel, some solid and blue color. And border bottom like this we can add. Border bottom, we have how much? 5 pixel, double and red color. Like this we are adding. And this also blue color. Then you can see this border will be like this now. That means we have different border style. We have a different border style. That's generally how you can configure the borders. Define the border and use the border. Every direction, different style you can apply, right? That is border. Now you have another one. That means these are all styles, different direction styles. Another one, we have border radius. Na? Border radius, this is shorthand for all directions. In that case, what else you have? You also have border top left radius. Am I right? We also have border top right radius. We have border bottom left radius. So we have border bottom right radius. All these are the different directions of border. So border top left radius, top right radius, bottom left radius, bottom right radius. So we have different border styles we are having. Understood? So suppose you see I'm giving border top right radius 100 pixel. It will come like this. Right? I say border bottom left radius 100 pixel. Then it will come like this. I am applying only for container. You can apply for anyone. Even a picture also can be like that. Even a picture also can be like that. That means what we do, we are having a image source dot slash images. So women fashion JPG width 300, height 300 or 400. Image will be like this. Suppose I given as men fashion. So it will be in this way. Now, how do you apply the border? Same. That means for image. So border right radius, border top right radius, top right radius. So 200 pixel. That means it will come in this. So border bottom left radius, 200 pixel. It will come in this way. So we just use a border as 2 pixel solid, some cream color like this I am giving, like coral, something like this, corn silk, something. And it will have different border. Suppose I give in little darker here. And you see that will come in this way. We can change the appearance of border. And you know how to give a perfect circle. What? How? Width, height, radius. If all are equal, then it will become a circle. How do you make anything a perfect circle? To make any perfect circle, width, height, and radius all must be equal. Suppose you have a div. This div is having a class offer. So 50%. Now when I access offer, border is some 10 pixel solid, or say groove some red like this I applied. Then you see it will come in this way. I given some font size as 50 pixel. I said padding. So padding as 20 pixel. That means it will get some padding. So margin also I will give 20 pixels some margin. And I given width as 50 pixel. Height also 50 pixel. Then it will be in this way. So text align as what? Center. I think we need little bit width more. Or font size we will decrease. That will be fine. So 30 font size, it will be fine. Like this we are having. Then what we do? Height, width, and what? Border radius is how much? You can give even 100%. 100% means it will come like this. Border radius. If it is equal, then you have to define width height. 100% means equal to width height. Radius 100% means equal to width height. If radius 50% means, that means half of the width height. It will adjust accordingly, depending on what border you given. border you given. Actually, you see border top, left, right also. We can give later spinning and all we'll see later. Suppose if you remembered here, I see loaders, spinners. Yeah, these are CSS loaders. You see how to get a circle like this. Half circle, how it will means just a one side of circle, how it is breaking. Actually, it is a technique here. Technique is nothing but I given border now. That means what we do. So we write border left, border left, border left. What? Suppose 10 pixel, solid. Say groove, groove, and which color? Red color. Border left, it is red color. So similarly, I am adding another. This is border right, border right. So that is also red color. And border top, that's also red color. And border bottom, border bottom, what I will do is border bottom, I will apply color as transparent, no color. Then you see it is having like this, right? That is bottom border is missing. Right border can be missing, right? Actually, bottom border we just give a transparent, right? So anything you can define like that. So actually, this can have a different color, some black color. That means that will have a different color, different color. So you don't want the color, then you can make it as what? Transparent. Transparent means it will display in this, right? This is one option how you put the border radius. This is an example for. So different directions of border you can apply by using this technique. This is border radius. One more we are having, that is border image. Border image. It uses URL, offset, and style. URL, offset, and style. It uses this. But remember, to put border image, your image must be suitable for border. To put an image, your image must be suitable for border. Suitable for border, right? So how image suitable for border? Means blindly if you put any image, it will not show properly, right? So for example, let's do one thing. You can have any content. So we have a div. So class container, and we have some paragraph. Some paragraphs of information. We want a border for this. We want to put some border picture for this. Then what we do is first any image you can give. Suppose to put a border image dot container, first you cannot put a image directly. First there should be border. On the border you have to stick the image. You cannot directly put an image as border. First border should be there. On that image should be there. Border means what? Border. Suppose 10 pixel solid, but this border should not display. Then what we will do? Transparent. On that border image uses URL. URL is some dot slash images. images, in images, some image. Suppose I given some image, some kids fashion, woman fashion or something A4, A5, some images are there. And you see when I keep this border image URL, you see it comes in 4 corners like this. Actually, this is having style. Style means stretch and space. Two styles are there. Stretch. Okay, how much percent stretch? 70. Then you will see it will be like this. Right? We have two options. We have stretch and we have space. Two styles are there. Space means it will come like this. Stretch means it will come stretched. This is a 90% space means it will come like this. So 50-30% space means it will have space. But what is image? We don't know what is that image. Just some colors are coming. That means the image is not clear because that's a large image. You are keeping a large image for a border. It cannot display that because line in a line put something suitable for line. Right? So you put like this, then it cannot display. So we'll do one thing. Let's open MS Paint. In MS Paint, what we do? So we will create a new file, but it will be smaller, a small size like this. Okay, first we will design, then we will make it small. You see, I'm designing something like this. So I'm designing something like this here. It also depends on how much size image you created. So like this, I'm creating some image. So we are creating some image in this way. That means just I'm joining all these borders and create something like this. Okay, this is some image I am having. I'll put some color here. Suppose this is one color. This is another color. And I will adjust this width. Not only that, complete size also little small. Keep it good like this. Smaller is better. Okay. Now I will save this in our project folder. Where is our project folder? In D drive, E drive, supermarket, public images, and it is what border, and it is which one? JPG. Save. Already it is there. I saved it. Now what we will do here? I will use that. What is it? Border.jpg. And you see the border will display like this. Now I will do different style here. Space I will give 70. Then you will see like this. This is the border. I will use some padding. Padding as 20 pixels. Some gap will come. And see here I give not space. I will give what? Stretch. Stretch means it will come like this. That means all the direct. It depends on even border size. Suppose border size is 40. Then you see. If border size is 40, then it will display in this way. Depends on border size. This is which one? Stretch. Suppose I use what? Space. Then it will be in this way. This way. And depends on stretch. Suppose I given stretch. Okay. Then I given stretch as 90. Then it will stretch more. Right? I given stretch 40. Then it will be like this. It depends on how much stretch you are giving for that border image. That means it is 80 or 90, then it will be in this way. And now the size I given to 20, then it will be in this way. And remember, important, if I remove border, there is no border image. Border image you cannot directly apply. You have to apply on border. If I give color, time waste, nothing will happen. Why? Because it will waste the time in picking a color but not showing the color. Right? Better you keep it as what? Transparent, because it is not going to show any color whenever you do this. So this is border image. So that means how we can put the border images, border image. So border image requires three options. One is URL refers to path of image. Second one is style, style, space or stretch. Another one, what else? So we have offset, offset 0 to 100. Offset you can give 0 to 100, right? That increases, decreases the style. Space, increase, decrease. So that means it controls space and stretch. It controls the space and stretch. Stretch. We can control the space and the stretch by using this technique. Okay. So these are the options we have. Now example I will copy here. This is an example of border. Border image is there, border radius. Both examples I given here. That's how we set the border. Width and height, no need to explain. You already know them. So width, height for this all comes under which category? Box. Box model. So what is new in this is the new concept is what? The new concept is shorthand is new. Shorthand means all directions simply how to apply. Instead of writing 4 times, 5 times different, in one attempt, how you can set all that you can do by using shorthand technique, right? You can do that, right? This is the concept of box model, CSS box model, right? So in the box model, you also have a box shadow also. We are having one more option, box shadow. We know this, huh? Box shadow is also there. There is no new thing, but you have a box shadow. We already learned box shadows, text shadow. Huh? It sets shadow, horizontal, horizontal, vertical, and blur. Blur. Horizontal, vertical, blur, and color. Color and blur. Color also will be there. And we know that syntactically we learned now already how to give. We need to give what? Box shadow. Here we have to give 0 pixels, 0 pixels, and 0 pixel and color. Like this we add. First one is horizontal, second one is vertical, third one is blur, and fourth one is color. You can use them. Box shadow. So how do we set the box shadow? These are the options we have. So example, no need of example, already you know, na? What is it? Box shadow. 10 pixel, 10 pixel, some 2 pixels, some black. Then you see the shadow have to display for that. But this doesn't suit for this, right? So because already we have a border image. image. And shadow, no need to explain, you already know that. Same you can use for text shadow also. Box shadow, another one text shadow, right? This is the concept of CSS box model. Because generally in interviews na, they ask these technical words. Do you know box model, right? Do you know units? Do you know inheritance, right? Rules. So that's the reason these technical headings are important for us to understand what they are actually, right? Now in CSS, next important. So why these are not, see, in general, if you haven't learned about margin, padding and all, this topic takes 2-3 sessions actually. But why it is not taking 2-3 sessions for us? Because already we done them. In different examples we done. From HTML onwards we are doing that. So it saves time. Generally what people do, first they finish HTML. After that they touch CSS. They will never touch CSS until they finish HTML. In that case, for CSS they have to spend again 10-15 days time. But now it is not required much for us because already we know. We have to just know the tricks. What is new? What is the new concept? Right? Earlier we don't know all selectors. Now we know the selectors. So earlier we don't know the difference between units. Now we know correctly when which unit should be used. Right? So these will help you to do the design that you already done more better. More better. We can do that, right? So we are learning more tricks in what we already discussed. That's the important thing you should know. Next important in the CSS. We have in the CSS, next important CSS positions. We already learned. We discussed now positions. What positions are there? Static position is there. Absolute position is there. Relative position is there. And sticky position is there. And fixed position is there. One we learned. Which one we used regularly? Sticky. Others also same. Means how to use them is important. We will see that. Actually, positions, what are the differences between them? So, very simple approach actual. There is no confusion in that. So, because sometimes people are confused about position. That is the reason online, in YouTube, anywhere, you search CSS tutorials. You will find a lot of tutorials on positions, CSS positions. One concept is CSS position is important. But why so many people are all targeting that concept? Because learners are confused. That means learners are confused about positions. Then everybody tries to explain in a simple way for them. Everybody's challenge is explain positions so that they can easily understand. That's the reason you will find so many videos related to position on CSS. But actually, if you already learned in an order, it's very simple to understand. There is nothing complicated, right? What is that? Let's see. Means first point here in the position concept. So we have a div, we have a class container. In this, we have some content. We have some content here. In this, only div is there, class as offer, and I say 50% off. Okay. Now what we will do here, we will write a style. In the style, what we do, container, right? In the container, what we are doing, some border. Border as 2 pixels, solid red color border, padding as to 5 pixels, something we given inside that. This is the content. And what we will do for offer class, so width is some 50 pixel and background color red, and color as white, like this I given. That's the option we are having. Now what is the point is 50 or 100 or 80 or something, width is adjusted like this. Now what is the point? First, for this offer, we are giving position as static. Every element is by default static in position. By default static in position, even you don't give, it is static in position. What is static position actually is? Static means keeps the element, it keeps the element according to normal flow of document. It keeps the element according to normal flow of document. So it will not allow to change position using left, right, top or bottom attributes. It will not allow to change position using left, right, top or bottom attributes. That means it is present exactly where you kept. It will not change. Even you try to move using top, left, right. Actually, top, left, right are used for moving an element. It will not move from its place. So it is present exactly where you kept. It is present exactly where you kept. So that is which position? Static. For example, see now. Position static. Okay, you see it's nothing. It is present exactly where it is. There is no change now. There is no change. And you see what I am giving. I am giving right as 10 pixel. That means it should come from right side 10 pixel here. And I am giving top as 10 pixel. Okay. So I am giving, I am giving top as 10 pixel. Top as 10 pixel. That means actually it should come somewhere here. But you can see that it is not moving from its place. That means a static position will not allow the element to move from its place. It is fixed at the place. That is static. That means element will be in the same location where you kept and it will not allow to move it. So using these positions, you cannot move that. That is static position. Okay. Now another important is that, okay, this is static position. Now what is another option is, we have absolute position. Absolute means it removes element from normal flow of document. It removes element from normal flow of document. It removes the element from the normal flow of document. That means it will remove from its place. Let's see what I will do now. I will simply first put here, actually position is static. I will put position as what? Absolute, means it will remove from its place. Removed na? That means an element is removed from its place. After removing, you can keep wherever you want. That means you can change the position. So you can change the position using left, right, top and bottom. Using top, left, right, bottom, you can change the position. You can change the position. So it removes element from its flow. And what it will do? It will allow you to keep where you want. But interesting point here is it keeps the element with regard to content in page. It keeps the element with regard to content in page. It keeps the element with regard to content in page. This is important. That means see what happens now. So it removes from its place. After removing, I am giving right as 10 pixel, top as 50 pixel. That means what happens, right top means it will be here. Right 10 pixel, top 50 pixel. Now the element is not with regard to browser. It is not regard to browser. It is related to content inside. That means it is fixed to which line? 1, 2, 3. Third line. It is in the third line of the page. Am I right? Now what will happen is I will put here more content. That means I am having more content. So a lot of content is there. Then what happens is it is at the third line. It will be at the third line only. That means it is not relative to browser. It is relative to content. Understood? It is not related to browser. It is related to content. So it will be along with the content. It will be along with the content. That is the point here. That means it keeps element with regard to the content inside page. Content inside page. That means it moves along with content. It moves along with content. The same thing fixed. The same concept is fixed position. That means what fixed will do? It removes element from normal flow. Second, it allows what it allows? It allows to keep left, right, top, bottom. And what is another important is it keeps the element with regard to it keeps the element with regard to browser window, not content in page. It is related to browser window. It is related to browser window. That means what will happen? It will not move. It will not move along with content. It will not move along with content. This position is called fixed. Absolute fixed position, almost same, only one point different. What is it? Is absolute is with regard to the content and fixed is with regard to the browser. That means you see now what happens. I will change the same thing. Position as what? Fix. It is in the same place. But now this is not relative to content. It is relative to browser. Then see what happens. It will lock there. That means it will not move along with the content because it is not relative to content. It is relative to the browser. At the browser position, it is fixed. It will not move. Right? If it is absolute, then it will move along with the content. If it is fixed, then it will be fixed means it is regard to the page. That's how generally it is going to work. Right? So this is the position. So absolute and fixed positions. So you can understand those positions if there is lot of content to scroll. That means if you keep some lot of content to scroll, then you can easily understand. And I hope you already know sticky. We already learned sticky position. Huh? What is sticky? What is sticky position? Sticky position means it keeps the element according to flow. It will keep where it is. But after reaching certain point, it locks. That means it will not remove from its place. It will be in the same place. But after reaching certain units, it will lock scrolling. It will not allow to scroll. Right? So that means what is sticky? It keeps element according to normal flow of document. It keeps element according to the normal flow of document. It allows to move along with content, but locks scrolling after reaching specified units. After reaching specified units. After reaching specified units. So that is sticky. Already you know that already we used in a sticky position. So what sticky position we have to do? That means if you have more content, this I already copied. Yeah. If you have more content, then what happens? And this is an offer, and we kept somewhere here. And what we will do? Offer somewhere here. Okay. Now what we will do here? Position. Position is what? Sticky, and so I will not give any width and all. Okay, like this. Top I will give as 0 pixel. That's it. That means now what happens? It is present somewhere. I am scrolling. After reaching top, it will stick there. That means you need more content. Huh? So I need more content of paragraphs. Then I can easily see that. Okay. Now you see when I move, it will lock that and it will scroll rest of content. Already we know this. Is it removed from its place? No. It is present at the same place. Right? This is position sticky. Already in data terms definitions I given that sticky position. Next option is what? Relative position. Relative position, it is the position given for parent element. It is the position given for parent element so that it keeps the child element relative to parent. Relative to parent. It keeps the child element relative to parent. This position is relative. Relative is always only for parent. Parent, right? Now see here, this is already, we have some examples on this generally. Means in the shopper website, if you have seen div class as suppose men fashion. Okay. And here we have a style and a dot men fashion. Okay. In men fashion background image, I am giving as URL. Images men fashion. So men fashion dot JPG and background size. Background size is what? Cover. Background size is cover. So, and I will give some width as 400 and height also 400 pixels. So you have this image like this. Now inside this, we have a div offer, class as offer. So save and BR 50%. Like this I given. So like this some offer is there. And what we will do here, dot offer. So width is 50 and height also 50 and border radius is some 50. Background color is some red and color is somewhat white. Color is some white. Like this we define, and you see it is like this, and text align center. I am just giving some option like this. So, and padding as 10 pixels, some gap around that. So we'll give like this. I want this here. You saw that in shopper template everywhere it was there, right? Then what I'm doing here is I will use remove from its place, then what position I have to give? You want to keep with regard to content or browser? Here with regard to image, na, not to browser. That means which position you have to use? Absolute. Fixed when you have to use browser, not browser according to the content I want, then we have to use absolute. Okay, where top 10 pixel and right also how much? 10 pixel. But it will go here. It will go here. It will go here, right? Then what parent should do? Parent have to keep the child element within it, not within it, with regard to it. That means it can go outside also, but from parent some percent out, some from parent some percent in, not according to browser. So then what you have to do is make sure that the parent element is woman men fashion. Parent element is having position. What is the position? Relative. That means it keeps the child relative to parent. Then now it is fixed. Now it is fine. It is fine. Right? It keeps relative to that. It keeps relative to that. Relative is always given to the parent. Right? Now, if you can do this, then others you can do very easily actually. That means what others you saw na, in shopper website, link relation is suppose style sheet, and href is what? Node modules, bootstrap icons, font icons dot css, and here suppose we have a nav bar, something roughly, and we have a button. So class bi cart 4 or 3 something. Here we have a span have like 2 something. Class for okay, for this span I'm giving a class. What is the class? Some badge like this. Now see what we are doing. Dot badge. Badge is like width is 20 pixel, height is 20 pixel, border radius is 20 pixel, background color is red, color is white. So padding is 2 pixel, something like this. We added the content like this. And you know that, so display as what? Inline block. Otherwise you cannot adjust, na, right? That is what you have to give. 10 is okay. Then it will become very small. So 15 I will give, or you can increase the button size also actually. Now what should happen here is I want it to shift its place somewhere corner, button corner. Then what we have to do? First, position. What is the position? Position is what? Absolute. Position is absolute. Top I want 0 pixel, and right also I want 0 pixel. Then it will go outside somewhere here. Now who should keep relative? Button position should be what? Relative. That means it will keep it relative to that. I will decrease the font size. Font size is suppose 10 pixel. That means little smaller. And I think more smaller, 6 pixel, 5 pixel like this. Achha, this size also you can decrease now. 10. So the size also decreases like this. Now we will keep this as top minus 20 pixel. That means it will go top like that. Minus 10 pixel. That means it will come top here. So right also how much? Minus 10 pixel. That means it will be in this. You can change the position where you want. That means you can keep inside. Inside means positive. Outside means negative. You need to keep that need. You can keep the positions in this way. Already you saw that. These are all done by using what? Positions. Positions. So these are the simple concept of position. How many positions? 5. Static position, absolute position, fixed position, relative position, and sticky position. Right now, based on this, in future you will design some examples also. We'll see that. But now we need to know one more, that is display, that we'll see tomorrow. Right, in tomorrow's session, we will detailedly learn about CSS display. CSS actually Z index is there. First we will see that. Then we will go to display. Position, Z index, display, all. Display all these days you used, but you don't have a clarity. When to use flex, when to use grid. Now you will see that. Detail we will see. That we'll see next session. Right? Tomorrow we'll continue with that. Okay? Right.